tackle Orlando Brown left for the Bengals via free agency, which created an instant question about Jonah Williams, who wanted out.
Yeah.
A report has surfaced that the Jaguars and the Bengals discussed a Jonah Williams trade before the draft. It didn't happen. Williams making $12.6 million on his fifth-year option this year. They're just going to flip him over to the right side and put Orlando Brown on the left side. But it makes me think something could still happen. Still, you got to protect Joey B.
Right.
You got to keep these guys in place. And if it's just a matter of one more year with Jonah Williams and then they tag and trade him or let him walk away in free agency, and I could see them tag him for a year. Say, hey, the Bengals have never been a team to shy away from using every right they have available to them under the CBA.
No.
We'll tag you.
Right.
You're here.
Right.
You're going to get X million dollars or don't play. And if you don't want to play, fine. We did it with Carson Palmer. We'll do it with you. Just go sit in the corner if you don't want to play. And the bottom line is they need that help around Joe Burrow to keep him in one piece.
Yeah, they do. And like we see with like the Kansas City Chiefs and how much of a effort they made to, reorganize or repurpose all their assets after a bad Super Bowl and not protecting their quarterback. They've gone all in that, and that's changed their football team here slowly but surely. The Bengals, same type of thing. Little last year that got them better. Now Orlando Brown, franchise type guy, and Jonah Williams. Now you can play with, hey, wait, we got 5 or 7 starting offensive linemen, and we can play the best 5. And that's the good thing there. But yeah, even with that, their offensive line, turned the corner at the end of the year, but it still wasn't. I don't think anybody was looking at the Bengals offensive line and going, "Oh wow, that's a special one there," or "That's a top 5 unit in football." Nowhere near that. And you said it right. I mean, you got a special quarterback. They depend on throwing the ball down the field. And then last year, they couldn't run the ball at all either. So just think about that. If they had a legit run game to go along with all they can do in the pass game, they're close to being extremely dangerous. We know that. And, yeah, you're right. I mean, they're not going to let Jonah Williams at the door right now.
Did you see the video I sent yesterday?
Yeah, Joe B. Yeah.
My God, he may not need any blockers. That guy's jacked. He went from looking like Macaulay Culkin to John Rambo.
It's in him, right? Like you like when I was there last spring at the end of the OTAs and stuff. First off, as always, and you always bring this up with me or whoever, much bigger guy than you realize, right? When you get in that, he's taller than me, and you think I'm big, right? So,
I don't think you're big.
Well, I am big.
And
right.
I'm not small. 5'11" and 3/4, folks. He can attest to it.
Yeah.
But this guy's a giant. He just slid down from a beanstalk this morning and walked over here and filled his mug with hot water. You should start pouring the hot water down from the beanstalk.
That's right. It's fresh beanstalk water. But
look at that.
Yeah, he's jacked. It's in him, and it looks like he now smart guy who I learned who evaluates himself after the season every year and where he thinks he needs to be better. Now, I guarantee he played under the weight he wanted to last year.
Is that too ripped? Is that too big for a quarterback?
I don't think so, but he's probably like you're starting to get to the point of, hey, you don't need to be any tighter than there, or just, that's about the right look. That'd be the look I'd want to go for. I think he played underweight last year, though, because of the appendectomy, right? So he never really got the weight back. He's super into his health.
Hopefully he can avoid that again this year.
Well, hopefully he can. And, hey.
I'm kidding.
You
only have one.
You only have one. Yeah. No, but he takes a beating.
Yeah.
Right? And he hangs in the pocket, and he tries to make plays going, so he's put a little armor on him.
It's funny. Between him and Josh Allen,
yeah,
I really do think that they both have made this commitment that
right, saw changes in their body.
Mahomes,
right.
We can't get past him. We have to take it on ourselves to upgrade ourselves, to do what we have to do. This Mahomes-Burrow feud, I think, really is
a feud,
the one to watch.
I think so. I think it's a real feud.
You've detected that. Some of the things, like Mahomes has that very charming way of making a point.
Right.
And it doesn't come off as snarky, although when you think about it, there's a little something there.
Yes.
You think that for some reason Burrow gets under Mahomes' skin.
I think he's the only guy in football, right, other than maybe Tom Brady, where you can live with that a little bit, where he'd go, wait, that guy's got my number. He's got my number, and he doesn't even seem like, he's kind of arrogant and just beats us and then just goes on like we're nothing, right? I think there's a little of that, and they take that personal in Kansas City. I do. and then, with the Joe Burrow and the way the year ended last year and I'm him and all that, I think it did get personal where it was like, whoa, you're getting up here towards the top of Mount Everest with me, and I don't like this, and I'd like to put you back down there a little bit.
That whole Burrowhead Stadium thing really bugged them. The victory cigars bugged Mahomes.
Right.
They used all of that. And
yes.
That's the thing. They act like they don't listen. They listen because they use anything they can to get themselves more focused. And when you are the kings of the hill, you have to find anything that you possibly can to get you properly focused and motivated. And something woke up the Chiefs in that game. And really, Chris Jones, who's trying to get a new contract, he's the one that, at a time when I thought it was inevitable the Bengals were going to go down the field and win the game and go back to the Super Bowl again, Jones is the one that kept
the play
from happening. And then Mahomes did his thing with the Joseph Asai hit out of bounds. Before you know it, field goal range, game over. It happened so fast.
Yeah.
It's like, the Bengals are going to do this. The Bengals are going to do this. The Bengals are going to do this. Oh, Chris Jones stopped that. Okay, now the Chiefs have it. We're going to overtime. We're going to overtime. Oh, crap, we're not going to overtime. The Chiefs are going to win. Yeah. And that's it, and they go to the Super Bowl. Yep. It's so hard. I was talking about this last night. You're not just threading a needle. You're threading like 4 needles to win the Super Bowl, especially in the AFC. You've got to make everything go your way in the wild card round, unless you're the one team that gets a bye.
Yeah.
Then you got to make everything go your way in the divisional round. Then you got to thread it again in the conference championship. Then you got to thread it again in the Super Bowl. I mean, it is harder and harder and harder. It's easier on the NFC side because the needle's bigger to get there. You still got to thread the last one, and the Eagles failed to do it last year. But that's why, the Chiefs have 2, and how many more are they going to get? I don't know, but it's a hell of a lot of work to get 1. And
they need to
don't assume that they're going to get another one anytime soon because you got to keep threading those needles.
Exactly. And that's where I think, the chippiness and them finding motivation, right? That's what great teams do. They find that, like you said, there's that little extra fuel to keep this going. Yeah, we want to be great. We want more Super Bowls, all that. But there's other things you need to have, to light the fire on a weekly basis during a long football season where your body gets beat to crap. One other thing, too, just to bring up about the whole subject with Jonah Williams and the trade conversations maybe with the Jags. I do find it interesting that it does seem like, it showed me within that talk and that report that the Jags are maybe a little concerned about their O-line or maybe their tackle position. The fact that they lost Jawan Taylor, they had a guy they drafted.
Cam Robinson's got
the suspension coming. So there's an issue there for sure. There's a little concern there, and that certainly leads you to believe that with that talk and Jonah Williams.
Anton Harrison from Oklahoma, tackle they picked with the 27th overall selection, and look, they're the ones trying to thread a needle too. I mean, they thought they had the Chiefs on the ropes after Patrick Mahomes suffered the ankle injury, and Trevor Lawrence becoming one of the guys who we kind of believe. It'll be interesting. We start your Chris Simms top 40 quarterback countdown today. You started it yesterday on your podcast, but I have a feeling you're going to have Lawrence a lot closer to 1 than 40, a lot closer to 1 than 40,
question.
A lot closer to 1 than 20, maybe a lot closer to 1 than 10. But, they need to protect him too.
Yeah.
And although he's already pretty jacked, I mean, that neck, my God, it looks like a snake with a pig trapped in its gullet, that neck. But, he's a guy that they need to keep healthy. They need to have him be effective. And he's going to potentially enter this conversation with Mahomes and Burrow and Allen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if he continues to play like he did last year, we're going to be talking about this next offseason just like Herbert and Burrow and everybody. I mean, that's where we're going to go. And, they're a team that – like we know, and Doug Peterson coming from Philadelphia, he believes in having a big offensive line. That's what won them the Super Bowl in 2017 when they beat the Patriots. It was one of the reasons they turned things around last year. They were able to protect and, open up holes for Travis Etienne, and there was no team in football that they were overmatched by up front like we talk about all the time, and that's a positive for them. But, there's obviously a little concern there, and we'll see where it goes with the Jags O-line.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.